In this video, we will explain the keypad configuration along with the display screen information. The Settings function button is used to enter the basic setup information required at the time of installation. The Manual Regen function button is used to initiate an immediate or delayed manual regeneration of the system. And the up and down arrow buttons are used to increase or decrease the value of the settings while in the various programming modes. When the power is connected to the control valve, the display screen will show the following information in sequence. The display screen will pause on the date and time page for 5 seconds. Then it will continually scroll through all the system diagnostic display pages. The total amount of gallons across the top of the screen is the system capacity when fully regenerated. As water is used, the remaining amount will count down, and once it dips into the reserve capacity, the system will cue a regeneration to be performed that evening. This screen shows the number of people in the household along with the calculated reserve capacity. When the remaining gallons reaches the reserve capacity, this is when the system will cue a regeneration to be performed this evening. This screen simply shows the estimated number of days until the next regeneration will occur. Keep in mind it's just an estimation. It may not regenerate in 2 days. It's all based upon your daily water usage. This screen shows the date in which the system performed its last regeneration. This shows the total number of regenerations that the system has performed since installation. This shows the total amount of gallons treated by the system since installation. This shows the total amount of water that has exceeded the system capacity over the last 4 regenerations. We want to see 0 gallons being shown on the screen. If there is a number higher than 0 gallons being shown, this is an indication that the system ran out of capacity and had to perform its 15-minute mini regeneration. It's an indication that you may not have the system programmed properly for the number of people or the grains of hardness. We would recommend that you ensure that the system is programmed properly. This shows the current flow rate and the peak flow rate since the system performed its last regeneration. This shows that the day override feature is turned off. By turning this feature on, you'll then be able to set up the number of days that you would like the system to perform a regeneration. This shows that the rinse override feature is turned off. If turned on, the system will skip the rinse cycle during its regeneration process. We highly recommend leaving it at the factory setting of the off position. This shows whether delayed regeneration has been scheduled either manually or automatically by the control valve. If you see the word off being shown on the screen, it indicates that the system has not yet queued a regeneration to be performed tonight. However, if it states on, this is an indication that the system will perform its regeneration this evening. This shows the current setting for the regeneration time. Typically for a softener, it is factory set at 2 a.m. This shows the amount of time that the system will be placing water back into the brine tank during its regeneration process. You will see this screen appear if you have a softener that utilizes the upflow brining process, followed by the valve's PCB circuit board ID number. Or this screen will appear if you have a softener that utilizes the downflow brining process, then followed by its PCB circuit board ID number. And once the display screen arrives back at the date and time, it means that you've seen all of the diagnostic information that the valve provides. In this video, we will show how to reset various diagnostic information. While the control valve is scrolling through its various diagnostic screens, you can freeze it by pressing the arrow down button. Continue pressing the arrow down button until you arrive at total regens. In this example, it shows that the unit has regenerated a total of 7 times since it was installed. If you would like to reset this value to 0, press and hold the manual regen button for several seconds until you hear a beep and the 7 changes to 0. Then press the arrow down button to arrive at the total treated amount of water. And if you wish to reset this amount to 0, press and hold the manual regen button until you hear a beep and the number of gallons changes to 0. Then press the arrow down button to advance to the overrun total amount. If an amount was shown here and you wish to reset it to 0 gallons, simply press and hold the manual regen button for several seconds until you hear a beep and it'll reset to 0. Press the arrow down button again and there's your current and peak flow rates. Again, if there is an amount shown for peak and you wish to reset, press and hold the manual regen button for several seconds until it beeps and resets to 0. You can then continue to scroll through each diagnostic by pressing the arrow down button, but there are no further diagnostics that you can reset.
Visit us at www.canaturewg.com.